This morning, Marco and I are off on our City Providore run, and today we're travelling an hour from the Hawkesbury to Sydney's northern beaches to visit two of my favourite Italian chefs, Alessandro Pavoni from Ormeggio at the Spit and Giovanni Pilu from Pilu in Freshwater. Both have grown up in Italy and are now living in Australia. I want to find out what veg they love to cook with and why, and their tips for making sure they have the best produce in their restaurants. Hi guys!
Eccoli, oi!
How you going?
Ciao!
Do you remember Marco who works with me?
Marco! Come stai? Nice to see you.
I know that you were after eggplants and maybe some tomatoes and mint. So buying the freshest of ingredients is really important, and you do it for us. So, you know, why do you think it's so important?
Well, the fresher the better. It's always going to be nicer flavour when it's fresh, especially if you just cut it and you just cook it straight away, you're going to get the full flavour. But anything up to a week, I think still is fine for a vegetable. If it's stored correctly in the cool room, a week in the cool room is fine. Also, if it starts to deteriorate, if you know you're not going to use it, there's so many methods you can use to preserve it and to use it at a later date. If you can process it rather than throw it away, it's much better.
Yeah, it's treated all correctly and with respect.
Exactly.
Yeah, which you guys do.
Yeah, there is always a dish that you can do with a vegetable, you know, like you can do soups, you can do, you know, even make stock out of it. Like, you know, there is no need, I think, to throw anything in the bin. You know,
not at all.
Yeah.
What would you do with it then? How would you like to normally preserve, or how do you store them if you're not going to use it?
I love pickling. Above all, I remember in the season of the mushroom season in Italy, when you have abundance of mushroom and you can't eat them all. So you have to pickle them, jar them, oil, and they stay for months. And also, for example, with eggplant, you can char them, right? And with Southern Italian, mostly
Sottolio.
mint, garlic, oil, layers, container and fridge.
How long would they last for?
A couple of weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
Artichoke also boil in water, salt, sugar, vinegar, and then oil. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you can grill them as well after that.
Or you can do purees, or you can eat them like that.
So you know what they do, like things like with tomatoes, when they have so many, they cut them in half.
Yeah.
They put them in freezer bags, and they got they bought a freezer for them, and then store them in the freezer. They freeze well, and then in the middle of winter they take them out, and then they just make a sauce, a tomato sauce for pasta. And they say it's like if they're eating tomatoes that they've been just picked and made a sauce out of it. So they got, so even freezing things, because you know, they last in the freezer at least 6 months.
Well, they're going to be cooked anyway. So
Correct.
Yeah.
But literally, my parents become nearly vegetarian from about end of April until end of September. They got all the stuff that they grow, and then, you know.
Which is the summer there.
The ideal case scenario.
And your
where you
family's from Sardinia, and your family's from
Lombardia.
Lombardy. Yeah.
So we are famous in my area for root vegetable, the best pumpkin in the world. In fact, ravioli with pumpkin amaretti come from the region of the plain of Lombardy.
Lombardy.
Yeah.
The climate dictates the vegetable that you get, right?
Yeah, amazing.
You know how Sardinia, they say that people last to 100 plus in Sardinia. It's one of the, you know, one of those spots around the world. And when you ask the locals and, you know, a lot of the oldies, and they say, oh, you know, they believe that one of the main reasons is because they eat so many vegetables, and especially things like artichokes, broad beans, they mention a lot, you know, because they contain quite a lot of antioxidants.
Yeah.
And then, you know, someone says, oh, you know, you must have a glass of wine every day.
And the red wine.
Glass of red
Obviously.
wine.
So the trickiest question of them all is, what do you think about organic produce versus just generic produce?
So, look, certified organic, I think it's a big word, and there is, you know, a lot to talk about, because, but for me, I think, you know, the crucial thing is buying in season. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I think makes it really, you know, buying fresh.
Yeah.
So if you got, you know, the local market, which there is more and more around, you know, the little local markets, just going back from the local market, because you know that it's being grown, you know, at that time of the year.
And also knowing that where stuff comes from.
Exactly.
Obviously,
Knowing where things come from.
We know where our stuff comes from.
What?